Today at Pop Goes the 60s, we're going to do a product review on a record player. This is the 1975 Crosley Turntable. Now this I purchased in 2018 in December for a friend of mine who wanted to start collecting records. I thought this was a very good starting point for somebody who didn't have any stereo equipment at all to get into record playing and into vinyl. And I found that there's kind of a chasm in between the really cheap record players you can buy, like a lot that Crosley sells, the under $150 department store type, and then the other option, which is stereo components. If you're buying your tuner, record player, and then speakers, it starts to add up. I mean, you can get that stuff on Craigslist used for maybe $300-400, but that gets to be a little expensive. So what is there in the middle? This I found to be one of the better ones in the middle. Retail about 180 bucks. Got this on sale for 140. And it had a couple features that I really liked. Obviously, bought it for the turntable. But a couple of the other things it does offer is a CD player, an auxiliary for your cell phone if you want to play MP3s, AM/FM dial, and also a Bluetooth. But the main thing I don't like about the turntable, it doesn't have a post sticking out for easy maneuvering of the tone arm. For me, that's a big deal. You have to grab it by the back here and bring it over, which isn't that bad, but it's not easy. So when you do bring it over, it does start, and there's no auto stop, so as it gets to the end, it automatically shuts off. Now there is a pitch control, and you have a 45 adapter right over here. And the speakers that it puts, speakers here put out about 15 amps, which is pretty good for one room. Multiple rooms you can't hear as well. Another thing I don't like about it is the speaker wires that come with are very short, just a few feet long. And you can't, it doesn't have a jack here to plug it in and out of, unfortunately. But for 140 bucks, what do you want? So, let's look at the back of the unit a little bit here. So there are inputs for your speaker wire here. There's a line out, RCA line out here as well, and just a power cord, AM/FM antenna. So it's nothing fancy. Now, like I said, I did like the look of this, and this got a lot of use in the first year. But before we even were able to use it, the first one we got in the mail through Amazon, the turntable rubbed against the case, and then one of the speaker parts didn't work. So I sent it back, got a new one, worked fine. So for about a year it got weekly use, and then after about a year, the turntable started to, a couple times it stopped, and the pitch started changing, going out quite bad. And then the CD player wasn't working. So it was very interesting because I was going to return it to Amazon, but first I thought a year later they're not going to accept it. I wrote to them through my order history and said that, I told them the problems. They said, we'll get back to you in 48 hours. Meanwhile, called Crosley, said we had these problems. They said, send it back, we'll fix it. Well, having contacted Amazon, not only did they get back to me in 48 hours, now with an email, they sent me a whole new record player. So this is that new one. The old one got sent back to Crosley. That's going to get fixed. So I would say, as a review, this looks great. I'd give this an 8 for looks. I give it about a 5 for sound, but overall performance, I got to give it a 3.5 because I had to go back twice in a year. I will say Crosley does take care of you. I mean, you either get a new one sent to you, they do fix them. So keep your box if you do buy one. But if you don't like the hassle of sending things back and forth, this might not be for you. Maybe you invest in something a little more expensive. You don't have to worry about that. So that's it for today for this product review. Join us again here on Pop Goes the 60s.